John Moloney, you are very, very patient. The Assistant General Secretary of the PCS, one of the UK's largest unions, I think, with about 200,000 members, representing, amongst others, people in the civil service. So I'm sure you found the comments from me at the start very interesting. So John, I don't know where you are. Oh, there you are. Over to you.
Thanks so much. I mean, I'll be brief because obviously I'll be very interested in questions and obviously get into practical actions. So I would like to address practical actions in my piece here. I mean, just quickly to answer John about the restrictions in the UK civil service. In the Kafkaesque world of the UK civil service, there's actually 3 different levels of restrictions on political activity. But nevertheless, obviously, it pales into insignificance compared to what our comrades and brothers and sisters in Hong Kong are facing. They have contacted us, the PCS. We have been in some contact, but clearly one of the things that we have to do is get the whole UK trade union movement involved in this campaign. So therefore, I just would like to go through some practical things that certainly will be useful, I think, in my union. I mean, I'm very glad to hear about the information video that Lee mentioned. That would be particularly useful because whilst I think some people are aware of what's happening in Hong Kong, clearly the vast bulk of trade unions probably have no idea apart from a vague understanding from the TV and other media outlets. And certainly my union at the moment is operating in essence digitally. So all our branch committees, etc., are meeting digitally. So a link means that that way we could actually cascade it through various branches and it could be played at appropriate BECs. But it's certainly in my union, and I no doubt other unions, we're in now to annual general meeting time, AGM time, where people could put forward motions to our annual delegate conference. And whilst obviously clearly I can't cascade a model motion, given my job, to all the branches in the union, it would be good if there was a model trade union motion that could be distributed amongst branch, both from my union and other unions, to actually put forward arguments about why this campaign should be supported, and presumably in some unions that will be contested, but that would be a good thing because then at least it will be out in the open arguments potentially around the nature of the Communist Party, the nature of the communist state in China, and I think that would be a good and healthy thing in the British trade union movement rather than actually being a hidden, if you like, opposition or a hidden view as to what people believe China is or is not. Clearly, if that motion was passed by our annual delegate conference, then that allows us, for instance, to affiliate to campaigns, to give money to campaigns, etc. Now, our National Executive Committee is supporting the campaign, but the National Executive Committee by rule is restricted in certain things it can and can't do in terms of monies and affiliations. That's why it'd be really important to get through a delegate conference. It certainly would be useful. I mean, I'm also a Labour Party member. If there was a model motion that we could put to CLPs when CLPs get back to life, certainly the CLP I hasn't met now nearly for a year, but hopefully some other CLPs are better organised and are meeting. But even if they're not, when the fall happens and we can start to have some sort of internal Labour Party life again, then clearly a motion along these lines would be very useful. Certainly it might be useful to consider motions for councils. While some councils have restrictions on what you're allowed to put, I think a large numbers of councillors in those councils where you can actually make, if you like, more overtly international political motions would actually, welcome this and pass it, and it could be actions of writing to the Chinese embassy, but also, writing to solidarity letters to various organisations. And also, it is obviously councils have certain economic powers, very limited, but nevertheless, there might be something that through their economic power, they could actually exert some pressure on the government, and obviously some pressure potentially on the Chinese government, though clearly that would be probably very little, but nevertheless, it would be important. And last but not least, obviously, it would be really good if those of us in the Labour Party can be thinking about when we do get to the national conference, about what could be done on the national conference floor, potentially to bind the Labour Party more firmly to the positions that we want. So I'm really interested in like the practical outcomes, and I look forward to hearing that in the next 10 minutes or so. So thanks so much for inviting me, and obviously solidarity to all the comrades and brothers and sisters in Hong Kong.